It's 2026. Elon Musk is worth more than many countries in the world. He could buy Norway, but here's what nobody tells you. He can't buy a $50 million mansion, can't write a check for a yacht, can't even purchase a small airline. His $770 billion exists and doesn't exist at the same time. It's the richest magic trick in history. And the moment he tries to turn that number into real money, the number disappears, like it was never there. Welcome to Elon Musk's life. Let me tell you a secret that rich people don't want you to know. There's a point where money stops being money and becomes something else entirely, something heavy, something that owns you instead of the other way around. And Elon Musk crossed that line about $500 billion ago. Here's what $770 billion actually looks like. Tesla stock, $550 billion. SpaceX equity, $180 billion. Other investments, $30 billion. Actual liquid cash, $10 billion. You see that? $10 billion in cash, out of $770 billion total. That's 1.3% of his wealth that he can actually touch. The average American has about 25% of their wealth in liquid form. Elon has 1.3%, which means a middle school teacher making $55,000 a year has more financial freedom than Elon Musk. The teacher can cash their paycheck, walk into Target, and buy literally anything in the store without consequences. Elon can't buy a yacht without triggering an international incident. But why? What actually happens when Elon tries to spend his money? Stick with me, because what I'm about to show you will change how you see wealth forever. Let me introduce you to Elon's jailer, the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission. Think of them as the hall monitors of the stock market. And they watch Elon Musk like a hawk. Here's the rule that traps him. Any insider, that means CEOs, board members, and major shareholders who wants to sell stock has to file a public notice with the SEC Form 4, Statement of Changes in Beneficial Ownership. And here's the killer. You have to file it within 2 business days of the sale, which means the entire world knows exactly what you're doing, in real time. So imagine it's Monday morning. Elon wakes up and thinks, I want to buy a private island, $300 million. To get that cash, he needs to sell Tesla stock. The SEC filing goes public, and within minutes, literally minutes, the internet explodes. Why is Elon selling? Does he know something we don't? Is Tesla failing? SHOULD, we panic sell, and Tesla's stock price, it drops 5%, 8%, sometimes 15% in a single day. Elon's $550 billion in Tesla stock just lost $82 billion in value because he wanted to buy an island. So he doesn't buy the island, he can't. The cost is too high, not in dollars, in destruction. So how does he actually live? He borrows. Wait, what? The richest man on earth lives on credit. Here's the trick that billionaires use, and it's completely legal. Step 1. You own a massive amount of stock. Let's say $100 billion worth of Tesla. Step 2. You go to a private bank and say, I need to borrow $500 million. I'll put up my Tesla stock as collateral. Step 3. The bank says yes immediately. Why? Because it's the safest loan they'll ever make. If the loan is $500 million and the collateral is worth $100 billion, that's a 0.5% loan-to-value ratio. Your house mortgage, usually 80% loan-to-value, risky. Elon's stock loan, 0.5% loan-to-value, basically impossible to default on. And here's the beautiful part for the bank. They charge him maybe 2-3% interest. Sounds cheap, right? But 3% of $500 million is $15 million per year every year, forever, as long as the loan exists. And here's where it gets insane. When that loan comes due, usually every 5-10 years, Elon doesn't pay it back. He borrows more money to pay off the old loan. It's a debt cycle, and he can never get off. You and me, we dream of the day we pay off our car, our house, our student loans. Elon will die in debt, billions and billions in debt he'll never pay off. And you know the craziest part? While he's drowning in debt, his net worth keeps going up. Because the stock price keeps rising faster than the debt grows, he's getting richer and more trapped at the exact same time. But it gets so much worse. Because in 2022, Elon made a decision that almost destroyed him. And I'm not talking about the stock price. I'm talking about his soul. On April 2022, Elon Musk starts buying Twitter stock. At first, it's quiet. A few million shares here and there. Then Twitter's board realizes he's not just investing, he's taking over. They panic. They activate the poison pill defense. It's a corporate weapon designed to stop hostile takeovers, but Elon doesn't care. On April 14, 2022, he makes an offer $54.20 per share for the entire company, a total price of $44 billion. Twitter's board has no choice. The offer is too high. Shareholders would revolt if they refused. They accept. And Elon tweets, "Free speech is the bedrock of democracy." His fans celebrate. This is it. The town square will be free, but Elon doesn't realize it yet. He just bought the most expensive prison cell in history. On October 27, 2022, Elon walks into Twitter headquarters carrying a sink. He tweets a dad joke. Let that sink in. But behind the scenes, it's not a joke. It's a massacre. Here's what Elon had to do to buy Twitter. A total cost of $44 billion. Elon's cash, $20 billion. Bank loans, $13 billion. Equity investors, $11 billion. To get that $20 billion in cash, he had to sell Tesla stock. Over 6 months, he sold in waves. Each time, the market panicked. On April 2022, Tesla at $350 per share. On November 2022, Tesla at $180 per share, nearly 50% drop. Elon's Tesla holdings lost over $200 billion in value. Guinness World Records officially certified it, the largest loss of personal fortune in history. He lost more money than entire countries make in a year. But here's the part that keeps him up at night. That $13 billion in loans. Twitter, now called X, has to pay the interest. At roughly 7% interest, that's about $1 billion per year. But X only makes about $3.4 billion in revenue per year, and profit, barely breaking even most years, which means Elon has to personally cover the debt payments, $1 billion per year, out of his own pocket, every year, for the foreseeable future. He bought a company for $44 billion. That's now worth maybe $15 billion. He lost $29 billion in real money, not paper losses. Actual cash he'll never see again, and it shows on his face. But money isn't the real cost. Let me show you what buying Twitter actually cost him. November 2022, Elon admits he's sleeping on the floor at Twitter headquarters, not in a hotel, not at home, on a couch, in the office, working 20-hour days. Sometimes not sleeping at all. In his own words, "I'm working more hours than I ever have in my life." And remember, he's still running Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and Boring Company. He's literally trying to run 5 companies at once. His 11 children, barely sees them, 3 ex-wives, multiple public breakups. He named one of his kids XA. People mocked him, called it a publicity stunt. But here's what nobody understood. That man is so disconnected from normal human life that he literally doesn't know how to be human anymore. He lives in rockets, AI models, and neural interfaces. The simple stuff, namming a baby Emma, playing catch, tucking your kid into bed. He's forgotten how his first son died in his arms. Sudden infant death syndrome, 10 weeks old, that kind of trauma. It breaks something inside you, and some people deal with it by working, building, achieving so they never have to feel it. But the thing about running from pain, you can never run fast enough. And while he's drowning, the sharks smell blood. The SEC investigates him constantly. 2018, funding secured, tweet $20 million fine. 2022, Twitter stock purchase disclosure, investigation ongoing. 2023, Tesla autopilot claims, investigation ongoing. Congress hauls him in for testimony. Mr. Musk, why are you allowing hate speech on your platform? The media writes hit pieces daily. Elon Musk's reckless behavior. How Elon Musk became a liability. Inside Elon's chaotic empire, his competitors use his chaos to gain ground. Ford and GM. They're all launching electric vehicles now, trying to catch Tesla. Tesla's market share is still dominant, but the walls are closing in. Employees sue him, former Twitter employees, Tesla workers, discrimination claims, hostile workplace allegations, legal fees in the hundreds of millions, unions trying to organize his workforce, protesters outside his buildings. Activist investors demanding he step down from certain roles, and every single one of these people wants a piece of him. He's 55 years old, but he looks like he's 65, and there's something in his eyes now that wasn't there before. It's not fear. It's not even stress. It's resignation. The look of someone who knows they can never stop. So why doesn't he just quit? Sell it all. Take $50 billion in cash and disappear. Buy an island. Retire at 52 with more money than he could spend in 100 lifetimes. Why doesn't he? The answer is going to break your heart. To understand why Elon can't stop, you have to go back. Pretoria, South Africa in 1980s. Elon was the weird kid. Small, nerdy, obsessed with computers, and he got destroyed for it, beaten up regularly, thrown down a flight of stairs, once hospitalized. In his own words, "They got my head and my knee and they just nailed me against the ground." His father was emotionally abusive, called him an idiot, told him he'd never amount to anything, so he escaped into books. Isaac Asimov, Robert Heinlein, Arthur C. Clarke, stories about humans colonizing space, building new worlds, and somewhere in that little boy's brain a program got written: if powerless, then pain; if powerful, then safe; therefore acquire power at all costs. So he escaped South Africa, went to Canada, then America, built Zip2. Sold it for $22 million. Built PayPal, sold it for $180 million. At 31 years old, he had $180 million in cash. Most people would retire, buy a mansion, travel, and live luxurious life. Elon bet it all on two insane companies, SpaceX and Tesla. By 2008, both companies were nearly bankrupt. He was divorced, broke, sleeping on friends' couches. He said 2008 was the worst year of his life. He had enough money to save one company, not both. He split it. Gambled everything. SpaceX's fourth rocket launch, the last one they could afford, succeeded. Tesla shipped its first cars. Both companies survived. Barely, and that's when the trap snapped shut. Because Elon learned something that day in 2008. He learned that if he stops fighting, everything dies. Not just companies, people. Thousands of people whose jobs, whose mortgages, whose kids' college funds all depend on him never stopping. Today, Tesla employs 140,000 people. SpaceX employs 13,000 people. X employs thousands more. Millions of regular people have their retirement savings in Tesla stock. And if Elon quits, it all collapses. That bullied kid from South Africa built himself a cage made of other people's dreams. And now he can't leave, because if he does, everyone who believed in him loses everything. But there's one more twist. The real reason Elon can't stop. He actually believes it, the Mars thing. Making humanity multiplanetary. He genuinely thinks humanity is one asteroid away from extinction, one supervolcano, one nuclear war, one pandemic. And if we're only on Earth, we're one bad day away from being gone forever. 4 billion years of evolution. Consciousness, art, music, love, all gone, unless someone builds a backup. And he's decided that someone is him. It will take $1 trillion. Maybe more, 20 years minimum. Probably longer. He'll be in his 70s before the first real Mars city exists, if it even happens in his lifetime. But he can't stop, because in his mind, if he stops, we all die. Every human who will ever live. Every child not yet born, their survival depends on him finishing this, so he can't quit. He can't cash out. He can't even slow down, because the moment he does, the dream dies, and maybe humanity's future dies with it. So here's what I need you to understand. Elon Musk has $770 billion, and he's the least free person on Earth. You have whatever you have. Maybe you're broke, maybe you're comfortable, maybe you're struggling, but you can quit your job tomorrow, move to another state, another country, change careers, start over, walk away, and yes, it'll be hard, but nobody's retirement fund collapses if you do it. Elon can't. His only choices are work until you die or watch everything burn. So the next time you think, I wish I was rich like him, remember this: the richest man on Earth would trade places with you in a heartbeat, because you have something he lost $500 billion ago, and you can't buy that back, not for all the money in the world. If this video changed how you see wealth, success, or freedom, do me a favor, hit that like button. It tells YouTube this is the kind of story people need to hear, and the algorithm shows it to more people who need to hear it. Drop a comment. Tell me, if you had Elon's $770 billion, but with all his responsibilities, would you take it? Be honest, because I think your answer might surprise you, and subscribe, because in the next video, we're diving into Jeff Bezos's divorce, the most expensive breakup in human history, $38 billion, gone in a single divorce settlement. But here's the twist. His ex-wife Mackenzie is happier now than she's ever been. She's given away $16 billion to charity, and she's still worth $30 billion, while Jeff is building rockets to escape Earth. She's actually changing it. Same channel, same deep dives, same uncomfortable truths about money and power. You just watched the story of a man with $770 billion who can't buy a sandwich without moving mountains, and you just realized you're richer than him in the only way that matters. See you next time.